Hello you guys, it is Black Anime here, making another Black Anime review. Today I will be reviewing an anime that tried something new, tried something more down to earth and more real. Something with a lot of science, but was still super interesting, funny, and this had the right amount of drama. Something that has never been done before right. Something that should have kept going, but for some reason has stopped and has shown no signs of continuing. Today, I plan on reviewing the anime Astronaut Brothers. Or Space Brothers, my bad. Space Brothers. Let's do this. So, I'm really scared to try to upload one of their intros. I've already got a strike on this channel, believe it or not. There's no fair use. I'm just going to say that. There's no fair use to YouTube. I'm not going to get into that. So I didn't put an intro on. I'm sorry about that. But let's jump right into this. The story. It follows the two main characters who are brothers, Muta Nabua and Hibito Nabua, who are brothers who one day as kids saw something that they think were aliens, and that inspired them to get into space and all that. Hibito became an astronaut and is preparing for his mission to the moon, while his brother Muta just became a businessman and stayed at home, and then was inspired after quitting his job or losing his job, inspired to become an astronaut, to start training, to start studying, to start preparing himself to become an astronaut. And that's what this story is, him becoming an astronaut as his brothers launching to the moon so they can complete their promise made to find out what that light was and one day go to the moon together to find it. That's the story of the show. Sounds pretty cool, I know, but just wait until we get to the bad. Moving on to characters. Like I said, there are only two main characters of this show. There are so many main characters. Once you get to the second half, not really main but supporting characters. So I'm only gonna name off the mains. We have the older brother, Nanuba Muta. Okay, Muta's the older brother, the one who he tries to play the role of the older brother as much as he can, but as he gets older, it seems like his younger brother Hibito starts becoming the older brother. Muta's more of a goofy guy who's not really down to earth, and Hibito's pretty much that character who's just the cool guy. You know, he is the law of this anime. He is meant just to be cool. You know, he's an astronaut. He learned to play guitar. He can speak several languages. He is just meant to be all around cool guy. Now I'm going quick with this review because lots of the bad. There's big things I want to talk about the bad. So moving on, sound and animation. Now, I feel like personally, in my opinion, I know this anime is a couple of years old, not even really that old. It's 2-3 years old. But I just felt the animation lacked in some scenes, but that's because I get the idea what they were going with. You know, make the animation a little bit better here, so you know, look worse here, so it can look really good here. And lots of animes really go off of this, such as sports animes do this a lot. You know, Haikyuu is a big example. Off the court, the animation's but then on the court, the animation is holy shit. Now, this anime tried doing the same thing, but they didn't do it so well. The animation would be it'd be like 1 through 10, I'd give the animation like a 5 most of the time, so it was average. But then on the scenes where they tried to make the animation better, it was like 6 or 7. It wasn't big enough difference that I think it was worth, you know, making the other scenes They should have just made everything a solid 6 or a solid 5. You know, I'd prefer everything to be the same than see slight difference so you make these other scenes worse, you know. The sound was really good. The only problem I have with the sound, I'll talk about that later, but the sound was amazing. The intro, the outro, and all the music in the middle was great. What they did was kind of bad, but kind of good. They got most companies either have a bad soundtrack, right? A lot of songs, but all of them are a lot of songs, or they're all terrible, or a small amount of songs and they're all decent, or a small amount of songs and they're really good. These guys did a very small amount of songs and they were very good. Yes, they changed up the intros every now and then. My favorite intro personally was intro 2. You won't find it on YouTube because of copyright claims and all that, but I feel the music, the instrumental music, was played so much. It wasn't that good. Like, at first it was like, oh my gosh, it was great, but then overusing it kind of tired it out. So let's move on to the good and bad, because no matter how good an anime is, whether it be amazing or terrible, it's gonna have a good and a bad. Let's talk about the good of this show. The good was, most of this anime was flawless, and when I say most, I'll get to that with the bad. The way the voice actors did it, the way they showed different cultures, because this took place in Houston, Texas, you know, because that's where NASA's located and everything. The way it shows traveling between Japan and the U.S., the way they you know, don't necessarily Japanese up the U.S., which is good. Like, I do have a slight problem with there is no dubbed, and I think a dubbed for this would be really good, accounting that 90% of it takes place in the U.S. But like I said, that's for the bad. Keep moving on. Sorry, keep getting off topic. But sorry about that. Like I was saying, all the outer space scenes are really good, and those scenes where, you know, there's so much hype, there's so much happening, testing, you know, just scenes where you're like, I hope he makes it, I hope he makes it, I hope he pass, I hope this goes well, I hope this goes well. It all looks great, and I like how they add a bit of realism to all this. Like, I watched this anime thinking, this is probably what they actually go through. This is probably what every person who wants to become an astronaut goes through to become an astronaut. And I love to see how all these different characters we have, whether it be a single mother, a group of astronauts who lost their lives, a father who is trying to reach his dream of becoming an astronaut. I like how we see all these different angles of the struggles of becoming an astronaut from different people, you know, whether you live alone, whether you're, you know, catch up to your brother, whether you are a single mom or a father, you know, working towards your goal. It really shows that you just have to keep on working, and I really like that about this show. Now, time to talk about the bad. The worst part about this show had to be the fact that it is incomplete. So fucking bad is how bad this anime is incomplete. Like, oh my god, how much this is incomplete is going to affect this review a huge amount. Like, I normally don't let one bad thing try to affect the review a lot, but this ending makes the ending for Fate Zero look good. That's how bad the ending for this show is. So I'm trying my best not to spoil it, because I want you guys to get a good grasp and idea on how this ends. So, person one. Okay. Here I go. Here I go. Attempt number 2 at this, you guys. To try not to spoil it. Untold stories for several characters. Muta, Hibito, this female astronaut whose dream it is to go on the ISS, who does become an astronaut, but the ISS, just so much is happening, okay? And there's so many unanswered questions from this show, and they're trying to push. Yes, the manga is ongoing, and I know I'll probably get, if this review does well and gets views, I know I will get comments about, oh, but you could read the manga. In my personal opinion, I'll get back to what I was saying about it being incomplete. But another bad is, I feel like you can't read this. I've tried to read the mangas. I like this show a lot, as you guys can tell the way I talked about it before we got to the pad. I liked it a lot, so I was like, I'll get the mangas a try. Start off exactly where I left off and continued from there. I would say I read about 10 volumes, and I was like, I can't. For some reason, this show is just one of those shows that works better as a visual than as, you know, in your imagination, how it works out. And some shows are going to be like that. This is one of the first that I've had this encounter with, but some are just going to be that way. And that's what pisses me off most about this being incomplete. Also, the fact that they put 99 episodes of effort worth into making this series, right? 99 episodes. Okay, I can understand 25. I can understand 12. I can understand 25. I can maybe even understand 50. But putting in 99 episodes and then saying, we're done, is bullshit. You had so many people on ready to watch a show, and then it just crashed and burned for the last 3 episodes. The last 3 episodes were about one thing, and I was thinking, how are they going to put all this information into 3 episodes? And they didn't. They left out so much information from the show. You don't know if this goes well. You don't know if that goes well. You don't know if this happens. You don't know if that's happening. You don't know how this is going to go for this person. You don't know how this is going to go for that person. There is so much you don't know about this show or how it's going to go because of this. And the only way you can learn that is if you force yourself to read the manga. Now, some of you guys might prefer reading manga, and that's just your preference. But for me, I can't. I really just, I tried and tried over and over again. It's not like I tried 10 volumes once and I was like, I'm done. No, I've tried over and over and over again, but still just can't get into it enough that I feel like I'm liking it. That's the problem. Like I said, an anime like this is way more better with visuals, and the manga just kills it. And that's the biggest problem I have with this show, is that it is extremely incomplete and there is no signs of it continuing. Like, yes, there's Blu-rays. Yes, there's DVDs out. There's options to buy and stuff. And yes, this anime's only been finished complete for 2 years, so not too long. But in the end, there is no hints, nothing. I feel that if an anime with this many episodes was continue, it would have by now. There would have been some sort of announcement. There would be some sort of chitter chatter on the web. I've been searching the web all day. It is 3 a.m. right now. I've been searching the web all day in forums and everything. And there is only one thing that I've seen, and that's a rumor of a movie coming out for this. But there's no way the movie is going to be able to catch up. There is like, I want to say there's a total of like 5, no, I think when I looked it was 260 chapters, I believe. I may be wrong, don't quote me on that. But let's just say there is a shit ton, okay, of mangas. The difference in manga is like Naruto. If you're watching Naruto, it's like the beginning of the war compared to the complete manga. There is so much manga, and it's just like, are they going to cram this into an hour? Like, how in the hell is this going to work? And that's what's wrong with this anime. And that what may stop me from suggesting it to people, because you're not going to get the ending you want. There's so many steps that happen, and you're like, oh yes, 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 yes. But then the ending comes, and you're like, that's it? What the fuck? Okay, you guys, I'm a little upset, so I'm going to end this here. This, dude, my final review, okay? Now, you know how I do my reviews if you watch my other reviews, but just in case you don't, I'm going to tell you guys. I go terrible, very bad, below average, average, above average, good, very good, amazing, and then the very rare masterpiece. This one is average, and I'm leaving it in the middle of average. And yes, the bad was very bad, but until you get to the ending, it's actually a very enjoyable show. The ending fucking destroys it. If the ending was what you wanted, the things switched around and this ended up happening and this was like boop, but no, it didn't go like that. So for now, I'm leaving this at average. If that movie comes out, there will be a separate review for a movie, but for the series itself, this is the final review, unless there's sometime in the future they're like season 2 or whatever, series 2 or whatever you want to call it. Once again, you guys, thank you for watching. If you are looking for an anime like this, or something that you could watch that will have the same feel as this, I'm sorry I can't suggest any. This is a super unique anime, so please check it out. But I'm warning you, check it out on your own, like I warned you. This ending is a bitch, and it makes you feel like you just wasted, if you do the math, there's 20 episodes, right? You know what? I'm even pulling out my calculator for this bitch. There's 20 episodes, so 20 times 99 equals, that's 1980, then divide that by 3, that's 660 hours put on this show. That is just gone. I just wasted 660 hours watching this show, thinking I'm gonna get the ending that I want, and then, no. So, watch a show at your own risk. It is a good watch. Like I said, it's a great watch all the way up until the end. Once again, thank you for watching. Black Anime, out.